Basketball fans, sometimes greatness isn't about highlight dunks. Sometimes it isn't about scoring explosions. Sometimes it isn't about triple doubles. Sometimes greatness looks exactly like this: a brutal, physical, relentless 94-90 victory. The New York Knicks didn't just beat the Spurs. They survived them. They outworked them. They outlasted them. And in doing so, they delivered one of the grittiest performances of the season. Because every possession mattered, every rebound mattered, every defensive stop felt like a championship possession. The Spurs came ready for battle, the Knicks answered with toughness. And for nearly 48 minutes, neither team blinked. This wasn't basketball played on easy mode. This was playoff-style basketball. This was old-school basketball. This was a heavyweight fight disguised as an NBA game. And by the end of the night, only one team was standing: the New York Knicks.
But before the first basket even went in, this game already had all the ingredients of a classic battle. The Knicks entered the game carrying expectations. New York has spent years trying to reestablish itself as one of the NBA's elite franchises. The fan base demands toughness. The city demands effort. And every night, this team carries the weight of one of basketball's most passionate markets. Across the floor stood the San Antonio Spurs. A young team. A hungry team. A team trying to prove it belongs among the league's future contenders. And that's what made this matchup so fascinating. Experience versus youth. Structure versus energy. Discipline versus ambition. Nobody expected an easy night. And nobody got one. From the opening tip, both teams played as if every possession could determine the outcome. Passing lanes disappeared. Open shots vanished. Every inch of floor space had to be earned. This wasn't a game. It was a test of will.
Then came the moment when New York reminded everyone exactly who they are. The modern NBA is obsessed with offense. Teams spend countless hours designing ways to score. But the Knicks have built something different. They've built an identity. And that identity starts on the defensive end. Every rotation, every closeout, every contested shot, every rebound. The Knicks approached each defensive possession with the same message: nothing easy. The Spurs wanted rhythm. The Knicks destroyed it. The Spurs wanted spacing. The Knicks crowded it. The Spurs wanted momentum. The Knicks suffocated it. This wasn't random effort. This was organized pressure. Every player understood the assignment. Every player trusted the system. Every player sacrificed for the team. That's what elite defense looks like. It isn't glamorous. It isn't flashy. But it wins games. And on this night, it absolutely did. Just when it looked like New York might take control, San Antonio answered.
That's what makes good teams dangerous. They don't quit. The Spurs kept responding. Every Knicks run was met with resistance. Every momentum swing created another counterpunch. Time after time, San Antonio found ways to stay connected. A timely basket, a defensive stop, a hustle play, a second chance opportunity. The Spurs refused to let the game slip away. And suddenly the tension inside the arena began to rise. Because everyone could feel it. This game wasn't heading toward a comfortable finish. It was heading toward chaos. And that's exactly what happened. Then the game transformed from a basketball contest into a mental battle. This is where great coaching matters. Adjustments, counters, readjustments. Every timeout became critical. Every substitution carried significance. The Knicks searched for advantages. The Spurs searched for answers. And the margin between success and failure became razor thin. One missed rotation could change everything. One turnover could shift momentum. One rebound could determine a possession. This was basketball at its purest form. No shortcuts, no easy opportunities, just execution. The team that executed better would eventually win, but nobody knew which team that would be. Not yet.
And then came the final 12 minutes, where legends of effort are created.
Every possession felt enormous. Every shot carried pressure. Every defensive stop triggered an emotional reaction. The Spurs kept fighting. The Knicks kept answering. Back and forth, possession after possession, minute after minute, neither side willing to surrender. The crowd could feel the intensity. The players could feel the pressure. The coaches could feel the stakes. This wasn't about talent anymore. This was about resilience. Who wanted it more? Who could stay disciplined longer? Who could execute under pressure? The answer was about to reveal itself.
Then came the sequence that changed everything. Championship-level teams understand one truth. Defense travels. When shots stop falling, defense survives. When pressure increases, defense survives. When nerves appear, defense survives. The Knicks produced critical stops exactly when they needed them most. Not once, not twice, again and again and again. The Spurs searched desperately for a breakthrough. The Knicks slammed every door shut. The result? A 4-point victory that felt much larger than 4 points. Because the scoreboard only tells part of the story. The real story was the resistance, the refusal to break, the commitment to every possession. That is what won the game.
Here's the part many fans are going to overlook. The significance of this game extends beyond one result. Anyone can win when shots are falling. Anyone can look great during offensive explosions. But what happens when the game gets ugly? What happens when every basket feels impossible? What happens when your opponent turns the contest into a street fight? That's when identity matters. That's when culture matters. That's when toughness matters. And that's exactly where New York succeeded. This victory reinforced something important. The Knicks can win different ways. They can win with offense, they can win with pace, and they can absolutely win with defense.
But let's not pretend this was only about the Knicks. The Spurs deserve enormous respect. They fought until the final horn. They challenged New York physically, they challenged New York mentally, and they never stopped competing. Games like this help young teams grow. They reveal weaknesses, they expose strengths, they teach lessons that can't be learned in practice. The Spurs lost by 4, but they gained valuable experience. And if this young group continues developing, nights like this could become building blocks for something special.
Now let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture. The NBA continues evolving toward offense. Three-pointers, fast pace, spacing, scoring. But games like this remind everyone of an important reality. Defense still wins. Defense still matters. Defense still changes everything. When the playoffs arrive, scoring becomes harder. Possessions become more valuable. Mistakes become more costly. And suddenly, the teams capable of defending at an elite level gain a massive advantage. That's why performances like this deserve attention. This wasn't just a win. It was a statement. A statement about toughness. A statement about discipline. A statement about identity.
And that's why this 94-90 score may end up being remembered far longer than many 130-point shootouts, because this game represented everything basketball can be at its best. Effort, heart, sacrifice, discipline, teamwork. The New York Knicks walked into a battle. The San Antonio Spurs refused to back down. For 48 minutes, neither side gave an inch. But when the final horn sounded, the Knicks stood victorious. Not because they were flashy, not because they were lucky, but because they defended, because they trusted each other, because they embraced the grind. And in a league obsessed with offense, New York delivered a powerful reminder: defense still wins basketball games.
Now, here's the question I want every basketball fan to answer in the comments. Can a defense-first Knicks team make a legitimate championship run in today's offense-dominated NBA? Or do they still need another offensive superstar to reach the top? I want to see your take below, because this debate is just getting started. And if you love epic basketball stories, unforgettable highlights, deep sports analysis, and the biggest moments from across American sports, make sure you subscribe to @US Highlight Junction and join our growing community of passionate sports fans. Until next time, keep the passion alive, keep the debates going, and keep celebrating the moments that make sports unforgettable. Now, here's the question I want every basketball fan to answer in the comments. Can a defense-first Knicks team make a legitimate championship run in today's offense-dominated NBA? Or do they still need another offensive superstar to reach the top? I want to see your take below, because this debate is just getting started. And if you love epic basketball stories, unforgettable highlights, deep sports analysis, and the biggest moments from across American sports, make sure you subscribe to @US Highlight Junction and join our growing community of passionate sports fans. Until next time, keep the passion alive, keep the debates going, and keep celebrating the moments that make sports unforgettable.